Hello student, myself Kuhu Sarkar. Today I'm going to start a new series where I'm going to recite the important modern poems which will be helpful for your UGC NET exam. So I'm going to recite this poem and you have to listen the poem and this will be helpful for your exam. So before starting the poem, I'm going to give you some information about the poem, some summary, little summary. September 1931 was written by W.H.AUDEN, was first published in the October 1939 edition of the New Republic before being included in the poets' collection another time. Written upon the outbreak of World War II, the poem captures feeling of fear and uncertainty in the face of fascism and war, as well as glimmers of hope that people might come together to counter authoritarianism. So here we see that the poem shows the anxiety, the fear of people after World War II, the fascism and war. But the poem ends with optimism and the, here we can see that people will come together to counter authoritarianism. It is one of Auden's most well-known poems and widely considered one of the greatest poem of the 20th century. So let's read the poem. September 1, 1939. I sit one of the dives on 52nd Street, uncertain and afraid, as the clever hopes expire of a low dishonest decade. Waves of anger and fear circulate over the bright and darkened lands of the earth, ob- obsessing our private lives. The unmentionable order of death offends the September night. Accurate scholarship can unearth the whole offense from Luther until now that has driven a culture mad. Find what occurred at Lynch. What huge imago mad, a psychopathic god, I and the public know. What all school children learn, those to whom evil is done, do evil in return. Exile Thucydides knew all that a speech can say about democracy. And what dictators do, the elderly rabbis they talk to an apathetic grave, analyzed all in his book, the enlightenment driven away, the habit forming pain, mismanagement and grief. We must suffer them all again into this neutral air where blind skyscrapers use their full height to proclaim the strength of collective man. Each language pours its vain, competitive excuse, but who can live for long in an euphoric dream? Out of the mirror they stare, imperialism's face, the international wrong. Faces along the bar cling to the average day. The light must never go out. The music must always play. All the conventions conspire to make the fourth assume the furniture of home, lest we should see where we are lost in a haunted wood. Children afraid of the night, who had never been happy or good. The windiest militant trash, important persons shout, in is not so crude as our wish. What made Ninsky wrote? about Diaghilev is true of the normal heart, for the error bred in the bond of each woman and each man craves what it cannot have, not universal love, but to love alone. From the conservative dark into the ethical light, the dense commuters come, repeating their morning vow. I will be true to the wife. I will concentrate more on my work, and helpless governs wake to resume their compulsory game. Who can release them now? Who can reach the deep? Who can speak for the dumb? All I have is a voice to undo the folded lie, the romantic lie in the brain of the sensual man in the street, and the lie of authority, whose buildings crops in the sky. There is no such thing as the state, and no one exists alone. Hunger allows no choice to the citizen or the police. We must love one another or die. Defenseless under the night, our world is in stupor lies, yet dotted everywhere. Ironic points of light flash out wherever the just exchange their messages. May I, composed like them of heroes and of dust, beleaguered by the same negation and despair, so an affirming flame. September 1, 1939 by W.H.AUDEN. Thank you.